Here are three things I will be watching for when the Vikings take on the Broncos on Friday night in the final preseason game of the season. So Max Brosmer is going to be playing a lot. It's probably going to be mostly him, maybe some Carson Wentz even. It sounds like the Vikings do want to get Wentz some snaps as well. But Kevin Seifert of ESPN, he was on KFAN this week and said that the expectation from him is that it's going to be the Max Brosmer show. And I know that a lot of you might not like that show. I was there for the Christmas Day game last year where Brosmer started and the offense managed, 3 or 4 passing yards all day. So it's going to be very, very preseason-y. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of Max Brosmer. A little bit Carson Wentz. You might be wondering, why isn't J.J. McCarthy going to be playing? That's because J.J. McCarthy got banged up in the Saturday game against the Ravens. He kind of got his ass kicked a little bit on several plays. There were 2 plays I thought that he could have torn his ACL, and then another play where he just got hit from like 3 different angles. So J.J. McCarthy, he did not practice in Wednesday's practice, according to Kevin O'Connell. I don't know if that's more just a rest day. I don't think he's really earned the right to get a veteran rest day. I know that a lot of players are going to be getting, they're going to err on the side of caution when it comes to injuries. But yeah, he was splitting reps with Carson Wentz on Tuesday, and then Wednesday did not play or practice. So makes me wonder exactly what the idea is, what the move is going to be with J.J. McCarthy moving forward. I'd like to see him play, but obviously I just don't know what we could really get out of it. He could get some personal reps and just more, time on the field. That's been kind of the biggest detriment to him through his first 2 seasons, is just not enough playing time. However, if he throws 300 yards, is that really going to change anybody's mind on if he should be QB2 or QB3? Is that going to change the minds of the coaching staff? Right now, Alec Lewis of The Athletic, he thinks it's going to be Carson Wentz who's going to be QB2 off the bench. I think it's going to be Carson Wentz off the bench as QB2. Jason Lockenfora, he reportedly was saying that J.J. McCarthy wants a fresh start. So it could be Carson Wentz show off the bench when the season begins against the Packers. And unfortunately, we probably won't be seeing much J.J. McCarthy, if any, on Friday night. All right, also, second thing I'm going to be watching for, the rookies, namely Caleb Banks. Banks was a first-round pick this past draft, and he only played 4 games last year for the Florida Gators. He was dealing with a foot issue, re-broke the foot during the combine. That made people think that his potential top 10 talent was going to push him out of the first round entirely. Vikings still took him at 18, and he is just trying to get back to football shape. He admitted he was getting winded playing all those snaps last week against the Ravens. He played damn near the whole entire first half, and he said that he needs to get better conditioned. He says he's going to start trying to run some gassers. Well, guess what? The altitude is very, very high in Denver, Colorado, so he is going to be getting just thrown into a conditioning bloodfest apparently, because it is very thin air up there. It is going to test just how conditioned he is, and it's going to really wear on him. Is he going to be able to push through it? Is he going to be able to harness that, be able to stay true to his technique, because he's been playing very, very pad level high, might be playing high in Denver, but he's been playing very, very upright through 2 preseason games. That was kind of an issue coming into the draft. 6'6", 327 pounds. So it's easy for him to play up high. Obviously, you don't want to be doing that as a defensive lineman, or really anybody in the NFL. And when you add in fatigue on top of that, you know what fatigue does? It makes cowards out of all of us. Not saying that Caleb Banks is a coward, but it's easy to start missing the little things. And especially when you're kind of reteaching yourself how to play, because there's a lot to learn in the Brian Flores defense, on top of just the defense itself. Also just the little details and stuff that are going to be going into just his technique, on top of the playbook that he's digesting. A lot on the plate right now for Caleb Banks. Really want to see how he handles the weather, the stadium, the altitude, the conditioning against the Broncos on Friday night. Also want to see Dominique Orange, big citrus. He's been looking really good. We saw him drop into pass coverage against the Ravens. Looked really spry. Who needs Harrison Smith? We got Dominique Orange right there in the safety room. Dominique Orange has been really impressing me lately. He's been impressing the coaches. He did play in a system last year, well, throughout his Iowa State career, where he was playing a lot of snaps. He wasn't getting rotated out. You're playing in the Big 12. Guys, we're seeing offenses that aren't really subbing in and out. Defensive linemen are going to be playing a lot of snaps and playing tired. So some people think that some of his poor tape is just due to him just being on the field so much at Iowa State. So if conditioning was an issue for Caleb Banks, might not be an issue for Dominique Orange because he is used to just being on the field all the freaking time. So he's another one to watch as well. Jake Golday, probably going to see him play some. He looked really, really good against the Ravens. He's looked good all throughout training camp. The 3 practices that I attended displayed his athleticism and his power on one particular blitz last week against the Ravens. I shared that in my YouTube shorts. Go ahead and check that out. Also, in the safety room, I was joking about Dominique Orange. We got Jacob Thomas, the James Madison rookie. He has been splashing, had a pick against the Giants, almost had a pick last week in the third quarter against the Ravens. He is making a lot of noise for the Vikings defense right now. Don't get him confused with Jacoby Thomas, third round pick out of Miami, Florida, 98th overall pick, I think. And he has not played yet in the preseason. He's been dealing with some back stiffness. Sounds like he has been practicing in full this week. I think Alec Lewis of The Athletic, he said that Jacoby Thomas kind of flying all over the field. So that's what we want to hear. Sounds like he was a good fit for Brian Flores coming out of college. See if he can translate that into his first time playing on the field in Friday night's game against the Broncos. Probably going to see some Max Bredesen, some Chuck Demings. Let's see if Chuck Demings can't get an interception or something here. How about that, huh? And then also, this isn't a rookie, but Tyrone Ingram-Dawkins, second-year guy out of Georgia. He was mostly defensive lineman, defensive tackle last year. He's playing more edge rusher this year. So because of that position change and because he's still so young, throw him into that group as well. See just how much he plays or does not play. I'd be shocked if they benched him and sat him with the rest of the starters. But being potentially edge 3, if they sat him, that's probably a really good signal that he would be the first guy off the bench in substitution in relief of Dallas Turner and or Andrew Van Ginkel. Otherwise, I think a free agent signing is on the way in the likes of Hassan Reddick or Joey Bosa. All right, third and final thing I'm looking for, the punter battle. Johnny Hekker and UDFA Brett Thorson continued to duke it out. Thorson, he has been holding throughout camp, and this was kind of like the biggest part of his evaluation in this punter battle, the biggest question. He didn't hold field goals during his time at Georgia. Kirby Smart, he always had quarterbacks hold. So Thorson didn't have that. Punters in the NFL, they're almost always the holders during the field goal operation. So Johnny Hekker has experience just being on an NFL roster, experience holding. Sounds like Thorson's been holding pretty well throughout camp. On Wednesday, Reichard missed one kick. It split attempts between both punters holding. It sounds like the one miss he had was with Johnny Hekker holding. Don't know if that had anything to do with Hekker. Maybe Will Reichard, he was daydreaming about something. But for what it's worth, it has not been a disaster while Brett Thorson has been holding. Also, of course, keep talking about the altitude. Punter battle in Mile High. This is an opportunity for Thorson to really show off that leg. He was kind of showing it off during that training camp joint practices that I was at. I think Johnny Hekker, he's lost quite a bit on his leg, but this could be an opportunity for Thorson to really, really show out and really make some heads turn and possibly win this punting job. I think it was Ryan Wright in 2022 as a UDFA. I didn't think Ryan Wright had any chance in hell of winning that position, that punter battle. He ended up winning the the punter battle, and he had some really good punts against the Broncos in Denver that year in the preseason. I didn't think he even held that well, and he ended up not even having that being an issue throughout his Vikings career. So punter battle, third and final thing that I'll be closely watching there as well. So that's all I got for this episode. This is going to be a very tough watch on a Friday night, being the final preseason game. Preseason games are already kind of boring. We saw that with last week. You put the third teamers, fourth teamers in, guys that will never play again. They have a lot to play for, but it can be very hard to watch, especially at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. And that's just me, in Iowa. I don't even know about you East Coasters that are going to be watching till midnight or past midnight. So hope that you're able to watch it. Hope you're able to tune in. Check back with me after the game. I'll have some other takeaways for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is the Skol Show.